even though I try to keep them as brief as possible, my garden updates usually take well over 10 minutes. And I don't really have a lot of time to talk about things, so I thought I'd just take a little time to do a update on the corn and talk about them a little bit. But I have the 2 rows you can see here. This one is corn that I planted from grocery store popcorn, and it's starting to get tassels. That's where the pollen will come from, and it's going to be considerably shorter than the glass gem corn got last year. And this is some glass gem corn. I saved seeds from what I produced last year, and the first, I'll have to look back at my earlier video, but I think it was the first 6 plants here I planted blue seeds, and the last 3 were red. And this is going to be, or I'm attempting to do a 3 sisters. So I've got beans planted, and some of those are starting to climb, like this one. I did a couple of plantings on those, one early and one late. I'm thinking I probably should have done them all earlier, because the ones I planted earlier are climbing, and the ones back here that were planted later are being shaded and aren't growing very well. So, lesson learned in case I do this again. Then I have squash planted right in there, and it's also being shaded, as well as the squash between the rows. I planted some back here, and it's getting more sun, and it's doing much better. I'm going to thin that to 1 or possibly 2 in the next few days probably. Now let's go over and look on the end. And we've planted 3 types of corn, and I staggered the planting dates, hoping that would keep us from getting too much cross-pollination. So down here we have ornamental corn, and that is just stuff I bought at the grocery store around, I think it was Halloween or Thanksgiving, in the fall anyway. And it's just now starting to grow, so it's got a ways to go. I'm not sure, I have no idea how tall this will get, but I'm hoping that the glass gem corn will have already produced ears and pollinated before this starts producing pollen. We'll have to wait and see how that works out. But it looks like the popcorn will definitely produce ears before the glass gem corn does. And as far as cross-pollinating between the glass gem corn and the popcorn, I really don't care if the glass gem corn crosses with popcorn. And I planted intentionally, I planted the glass gem corn on the south of the popcorn, because our prevailing winds in the summer are from the south, so that will be blowing the pollen towards the popcorn. Since the popcorn was produced first, it will have less of a chance to cross-pollinate the glass gem corn. And if you just look at this, it looks like I planted way too much in such a small place because of all the tops sticking up. But if you look at the bottom, all of those extra corn plants coming up, those are all coming up from one seed. And those extra plants are, you know, you can call them suckers, but I think the proper word is tillers. And I did a video on tillers last year, so I'm not going to go into great detail. If you want to check that out, I'll put a link at the end of this video. But basically, I just let my tillers grow. Some people remove them, but I don't, and reasons are given in that next video, so check that out if you want. But so far I'm happy with how this is working out, except for the fact that my beans aren't really as tall as I'd like for them to be at this point. So I'm gonna learn from that and plant them a little bit earlier on the other end, and I may plant some more. What I'm thinking about doing is planting some farther out from the corn a little bit so they'll get more sun. We'll see how that works. But anyway, that's how they're doing right now. I just wanted to spend some time talking about them because we just don't get a chance to go into too much detail during the garden updates. If you're just now finding the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Otherwise, like, comment, and share. We'll see you next time.